At first glance, this trick is going to look very much like the beginner card trick Gemini Twins. It is very similar, but it's got a much more professional ending, and this is a great way to hand out your business card in the middle of a card trick. Begin by shuffling the cards, and you're going to ask the spectator to give you a random number. Now, I don't have a spectator here, so I'll just roll a pair of dice, but I'll usually say, give me a number between 1 and 25, just so it's not a huge number. So in this case, we got an 8. So we're going to deal out 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Place one of my business cards right there to mark the spot where they stopped. Now I'll ask another spectator. We get 8 the first time. What does the second one want? They're going to say 7, because I rolled a 7. Again, it's a random number. They can just say any number they want. So we'll deal 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll place my other business card there to mark the spot. Now I need a random number by adding these two together. So we had a 7 and we had an 8, so that's 15. So 15 is going to be our random number. So now I'm going to remove the 2 spots where my business card splits the deck. So right here and right here. And the number we had was 15. So when I first flip this over, it's going to decide what the suit's going to be. It's going to be a spade because the suit is spade. And this one will decide the value. The value is going to be a queen. So I'm looking for the queen of spades, and I'm looking at the 15th position. So let's see how we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I'll teach you the secret to this trick and also a couple other variations if you don't have time to set up the deck. So in this version, I took 2 of my business cards. On the back of one I wrote the suit, on the other one I wrote value. Now all I have to remember is which one's first. So in this case, I know suit's on top, so I have to get the suit in the right position. So since I'm forcing the queen of spades, I need the spade to be on the bottom of the deck. 4 spades will go there. Now I'll put the other card, the queen of diamonds, on the top. So it's the queen of spades. That goes right on top. The card that I'm actually forcing goes right above the bottom card. The 4 spades there, this one's going to go right above that. I did add a shuffle to this, which you don't have to do, but a simple riffle shuffle, remembering that the top and the bottom can't be disturbed, is pretty easy to do. You can do it while you're talking. Just make sure that from this hand, which has the bottom cards, the first couple start from there, and then you start shuffling, and you end on this side with the top cards there. It looks like you shuffled, but you did not disturb the order of those cards. So you'll ask for a number between 1 and 25. Let's say they said 4. Count down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to place this card in that spot. Now remember, this card says suit, and when you place it there, you place the rest of the deck on top, you're just putting the suit card right on top of your business card. You've also moved the other card to the bottom of the deck. So you're prepared for the next part where you're going to get them to the value. So now they say another number. Let's say it was 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to place that card on top, not revealing yet what it says on the bottom. Now as you place the rest of the deck on top, again, you're just putting the queen right next to your business card. Now, if you think about what you just did, you dealt down 6 cards and 4 cards, which adds up to 10, and you're going to just take those 2 exact numbers and add them together to get to 10. So you're going to find yourself in the exact position where you put the queen. Spread these cards out, and by removing your business card plus the 1 card, which is the force card, and again, the other business card with the other force card, you've left exactly 9 cards before the force card, which is the queen of spades. It has to be because that's how many cards you dealt in the beginning of the trick. So I like to put a little separation between the two. As I mentioned how I got to that number, I remind them that they said 4, they said 6. We're adding those 2 random numbers up to get a new random number of 10. It feels legit. Then I'll show them the 2 cards they came to with the suit and the value. This also feels completely random to them. So there's no way I could have known they were going to say the queen of spades, and I definitely couldn't know where in the deck the queen of spades is going to be. The one part you have to remember is to flip the deck over. If I was to count 10 cards from the top, I wouldn't get to the queen. I do it from the bottom because that's why I added the extra cards above the queen. But it's even better when you do it this way because then they can see all the different cards and it feels even more random because they could have gotten any one of these cards if they stopped at any other different number. Because they said 10, they stopped exactly at the queen of spades. There's another version of the trick that looks just as amazing but is completely impromptu. So you got the spectator shuffle the cards as much as they want, and when they hand the deck back to you, you're not going to cut or shuffle. You're just going to look through the cards and find a couple of random cards that you're going to ask them to use. So in this case, I'm going to put this one face down. They won't look at that one yet. I'll give them this one face up, and then I'm going to find one more card. It's going to be their final key card, and then I'm going to go into a very similar trick to the one we did before. So these are the 2 random cards. I'm going to ask the first person for a number. Let's say they said 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll place one of these cards. Doesn't matter. Face up, either one. Put the rest of the deck on top. Next person says 6. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place that there. Put the rest of the deck on top. Then we're going to try to get a random number. I'm going to spread the cards out. I'm going to add those 2 numbers together. So a 6 and a 5 is 11. I'll remove this card. I'll remove this card. And then we'll see how we did. We got the other red jack. We got the other red queen. So these cards match. And your random number was 11. So we'll count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. It's a red 10, which happens to match the 3rd prediction. Now, of course, the mechanics of that version are exactly the same as the other version. The main difference is you're not making a prediction on your business cards. In this case, you're taking a random deck of cards, and as you're looking through them, you're going to look for the matching card to the top card, so red 9, so I'll find the other red 9. I'm going to hand them this one. Of course, I do this facing me. They don't see which cards I'm picking. And then I'm looking for the other red queen because it matches the top card, so we got a red queen here. And then for the third card that they don't see, I'm going to look at the second from the bottom card, which has to be a red 2. So I'll look for the other red 2. Here it is. This one they won't see. I'll put that face down for the big reveal at the end. And the rest of the trick is exactly the same as the last version.